Alrighty, hello everyone. Welcome to the channel. So, Swarm just came out a few minutes ago for me on the PvE. I did do, or not on the PvE, on the live servers. And I did do one match as Seraphine, and I was able to unlock Leona. So, that's what we're playing. So, basically, Swarm plays a lot like Vampire Survivors. It's a bullet heaven type of game, and so it's pretty fun. I was able to max out all my upgrades on the PvE, and it's really fun. And even with all the upgrades maxed, they actually had the very last level on the hardest difficulty very tough to beat. It used to be a little easier because MLPAL used to be super overtuned when it first came out, but they did nerf it a bit, so it became a lot harder to beat the final boss. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played this yet and made it that far, or for anyone who's watched any videos. But hopefully make it there in this video. I'm hoping to, anyways. Although this might be a while. I do plan on showing what maxed out MLPAL looks like to all of you watching. So I will get there at some point. I'm going to be completing all the quests and everything on this. So this is probably going to be the content for a little while. Hoping that all of you don't mind that, and maybe some fresher gameplay here and there. But, I'm just hoping everyone enjoys. Might have to let my brother into getting in on this. It'll be amazing. Oh, yeah, okay, so basically, the way this game works is, you kill these enemies, they have a chance to drop, like, EXP orbs. You pick up the orbs to get levels. And when you level up, you get 3 choices. And of those 3 choices, you can either get a new weapon, upgrade a weapon you already have, or, well, get stats. So, once you get to level 5 of a weapon, and you have the stat that relates to that weapon, or what is needed for that weapon to evolve, you can pick up a card, which you can get from these bosses or elite enemies, and it will allow you to make the weapon just a lot better. Like, I know the Ooh Blaster becomes the OO Blaster, and it halves the time between bullets, which is pretty good. It's just a Gatling gun, and it can crit as well, so when you get later, you get more characters. Makes it a bit easier to take out bosses as well, but just due to the fact that it can crit and it rapid fires. Oh wait, where's my stats? Oh yeah, sorry, I have to hold tab. So yeah, if you hold tab, you can see all your stats on up here. You can see what weapons require which stats on the side. Pretty nice and easy to understand. Oh yeah, that blue guy, it's an elite enemy. So there's, from what I've seen, there are 3 different types. You have these blue ones, there are red ones, and there are purple ones. So the purple elite enemies will spawn in a bunch of like projectiles that do a ton of damage. The blue ones basically use an Omni ult. A tidal wave, and the red ones is kind of like a cannon ult, honestly. It just does a lot of damage. It's really annoying to get close to. Hopefully. Yeah, I got full tank. Or hopefully done max health. If I was playing with other people, I would have to be relying on like a Jinx or a Seraphine maybe for damage dealing. The fact that tanks aren't really, well, at least Leona isn't really meant to do damage. There are a few other tanks. I guess some spoilers for some of the other champions, though not really spoilers, so we could potentially... I think the other two, like, technical tanks are Alawi and Briar as of now. And then you have damage dealers like Jinx, Xayah, Yasuo. You have Aurora, Seraphine as supports. I feel like I'm forgetting something. There's one... what am I missing? You don't get to play as Yumi, so I'm not missing. Oh, Riven! I guess Riven is technically a tank, so... She's a really speedy tank, though. She actually fits Bruiser a little more in the three categories with us, or the other three. So quick rundown of what Nina does. Her passive is her defensive stats increases the area size for her weapons, basically. So like this yellow kind of short yellow spike is my basic attack, like the basic weapon, I guess. And then you have the Uwu Blaster, Seam Showboats, Iconic Slicers that are all having their size increase based on my armor. Because I think that's the only technical defensive stat other than like HP, but I know back when she first came out it was just based off of her armor. I don't know if they changed anything. But her shield gives, basically, it doubles her armor and gives her percent health shield. So it's pretty good. It also does overtime damage for the first part, and the second part is an explosion. So I'm gonna walk through some enemies here real quick. Alright, so as a first of all, weapon, Light of the Lion. So basically what this is now is it basically just gives Leona her actual passive. So whenever you hit an enemy, they'll be marked, and either one of your other weapons or an ally weapon can proc the mark to deal additional damage. So Leona kind of functions as a bit of a support. Not entirely, but the passive on Light of the Lion is very helpful. At least I think. Yeah, Sunlight to enemies, Sunlight could be detonated by allies or other weapons for damage. So yeah, it's basically just Leona's passive. I think it's on her passive. I don't know, I don't usually play Leona. I didn't know she has something like that in particular. And then these things around me are the Iconic Slicers, yada yada yada. Then I got maxed out armor. At least from now. Just when I get to the boss, when I played my first round, I died because of these bomb enemies. They do an unforgiving amount of damage, and they are pretty fast until you get move speed upgrades, which doesn't happen for a while. So for like starting off, it is very tough to work around these enemies. You pretty much have to take them out before they get to you, and they are surprisingly tanky for a bomb. So it can be rough sometimes. We don't have any damage increase. Or damage dealer in your squad. So you can, with this game, you can party up with up to 3 other people. And you can run duplicate champions, so you can do some pretty stupid stuff, like 4 Alawis, 4 Leonas. You could run one of every class, technically, since Riven functions more of a bruiser than a tank, since her damage is honestly not that bad. He's also very fast, so... Well, I guess technically she falls into the tank category in this. So you could run like a Riven, a Leona, a Xayah, and a Seraphine. So you can have a fairly well-balanced team, or you can run like Jinx, 2 Xayah, and a Yasuo if you really wanted to. It really doesn't matter, whatever floats your boat, I guess. So you can have a fairly well-balanced team, or you can run like Jinx, 2 Xayah, and a Yasuo if you really wanted to. It really doesn't matter, whatever floats your boat, I guess. Riot has done their damnedest. Riot has tried their, pretty much the hardest just to attempt to keep things balanced in this game mode and to keep things working. On the PvE, I know there were a ton of bugs. A lot of quests, or I guess objectives, would not claim. I know Briar had some difficulties with her E, where she would go berserk, and if you picked up like a card, or if you leveled up, you'd be able to control her in her berserk state. Not really a bug, but Leona used to be unkillable due to the, so basically her shield used to basically triple her, it would give 200%. So yeah, it would pretty much just about triple her armor and give her this huge shield. And it was just insanely broken. She would not die. She had really big AoE too, since 3 times armor. That's passive. That's a lot of area. Also, the Emma squad used to give area size as well, so you would have Leona's attacks just straight up covering your entire screen. Used to get pretty crazy, but they got rid of the area effect increase on Emma power. So you can't really do that as well anymore. We have definitely still seen it happen, but it's just hard to do. You basically have to get haste and duration maxed out with Anima power max and the in-game haste and duration maxed out as well. It's like the only way. And that's sacrificing a lot of gold as well as in-game slots since you only get 6. And then you would also have to get area size, so that's 3 out of 6 slots gone for covering your screen. And I don't even know if you would also have to get armor, so that's 4 out of 6 gone. You basically have to get weapons to fit if you want to evolve things, so it's rough. But you can get it to work. Also, on the PvE, there was a bug that would cause the area size, like in-game passive upgrade, to not appear. So, right now, I am limited on what I can get. So, through the objectives, you unlock more weapons, you unlock more passive stats, you unlock more upgradable stats. You see the gold in the top right there next to the kill count. You can use that gold in exchange for upgrades that will be permanent for all your champions. For example, you can upgrade armor, crit chance, health regen, projectile count, area size, damage, armor, ability haste, duration. There's a lot of stuff you can upgrade. It just makes the game easier. Actually, it makes the game possible, I should say. It would be almost impossible to beat the final boss with no upgrades. And right now, I have an upgrade into damage and an upgrade into armor. And it's obviously making this first level a little easier. Also, the fact that I'm playing Leona, I can just shield is crazy as well. And for a tank, Leona actually does pretty decent damage, so... When I did get lucky with being able to evolve my first weapon. So, that's pretty nice. Also, another thing with this game. You can swap between targeting on your own and letting the game target for you. So you can either play, like, you know, kind of, you know, turn your brain off, do whatever, or you can actually, you know, play the game. Which, I do prefer to actually try and play the game again. I know there are people who prefer to let the game target for them, but I prefer to feel like I'm doing something. It just sucks a little bit to get these bounce. Rough spot here. So a lot of enemies. Okay, so this thing in the center of the first map here is a giant heal fountain. If you stand within that circle there long enough, you will heal 1,000 health. It's a nice little way to help people out on the first map. On the second map, there is a cannon that you can charge up, and on the third map, there are two different things kind of similar to this, but it'll freeze over the map, it'll freeze all the current enemies. So they won't be able to move or damage you. It is really nice. And then, the fourth map. Oh! If I remember this all correctly, is the final map. And that map has Misfortune on it, and she will shoot enemies. And every once in a while she will use her ults, which is very nice, because it does a ton of damage. It's really helpful for early game. So this is starting to get very rough. I know these videos are probably more interesting if I can get people to join. So I may have to do that later. Oh dear. This is a tough position to be in. Oh, okay, here it is. First boss of the game. Correct side. 24,000 health. Okay, so how she works is she will burrow. She'll launch something. She'll kind of go back and forth. And you have to break the burrow. Oh, they changed this fight a lot. She used to basically run at you, and she would knock you up. Oh, she doesn't come out anymore, so you have to kill the burrow. Okay, this is gonna be a lot tougher than I thought. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this. I have to wrap this up. No, please. Really, probably my favorite boss out of all of them. You'll get to see why when I make that video. Hopefully, I'll beat this boss in this video. Let's go! Second try! But it was on a tank, so it feels kind of cheaty. So, there you have it. There's the first one. See you in the next one. Oh, I guess you enjoyed. Leave a like, and I'll see more content like this. Subscribe.